Now to another Israel-Iran war. Well, apparently not a matter of if, but of when. A new report by the New York Times suggests Iran still has a stockpile of enriched uranium and is racing to build thousands of missiles, casting some heavy doubt on the idea that the 12-day war between Iran and Israel back in June eliminated the threat of Iran's nuclear program. Maybe the opposite. I want to turn now to Behnam Ben Taleblu, Senior Fellow at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. Thank you very much, Mr. Ben Taleblu, for your time tonight. Well, was Iran, in fact, invigorated by the campaign instead of being discouraged?
Pleasure to be with you. If you mean by the 12-day war, well, certainly the Islamic Republic knows that it came up short against Israel and it came up short against America. But at the same time, by casting the conflict into something much bigger than it was, basically by saying they tried to eliminate us and we survived, the Islamic Republic is slowly showing signs, at least in terms of its narrative and rhetoric, that it is confident and that actually it is Israel that has to lick its wounds rather than the Islamic Republic that has to lick its wounds. But perhaps most importantly, the lesson the Islamic Republic learned from this is that it has to build back better and it has to build back faster. And keep your eyes on the missile race, the race for Israel to procure and to produce interceptors, and the race for the Islamic Republic to procure and, more importantly, to produce medium-range ballistic missiles. This number, this missile math, may matter more than what's left of Iran's nuclear program if we're going to be talking about a round two and lessons learned from round one.
Well, I will ask it carefully because I'm not sure that we're ready to hear the answer. But do we have any indication how much, if at all, of Iran's nuclear program actually was down, or how much of it survived?
Well, there's different ways you can slice it. I would say some of the most dangerous things have been eliminated. Some of the other most dangerous things, like you could say uranium enrichment, have been stopped for the first time in its tracks in declared nuclear facilities since, you could say, April 2006. Since April 2006, the West has tried deals, sanctions, diplomacy, talking, threats of military action, cyber actions, covert action, and still the Islamic Republic of Iran did not stop enriching uranium for a single day. So if we're going to take uranium enrichment as the measure, yes, the operation was incredibly successful, especially if you marry that, of course, with the fact that it went after Iranian nuclear scientists. But given the fact that there is no continuity of knowledge on things like centrifuge production, or that there still is knowledge when it comes to, you could say, the regime's past weaponization activities, there could be more scientists out there with this residual knowledge who do want to help the regime build back better.
So some of it survived. The will or the desire only got bigger. So we are compelled to ask where the diplomatic efforts fit in here. What can they achieve anything?
Well, I think now is the time to pump the brakes on the diplomatic efforts. The mistake is to think that just because there was a military win, the way you get the political win is to now shift the diplomacy. No, the way you get the political win after the military win is to make the regime sweat, to have a coercive containment policy that actually rolls back the rest of the regime's threats, to drive them to make new mistakes, to drive them to lead with their chin. Because basically, I think the Islamic Republic understands now that if it dashes for a bomb using what's left of that 400 plus kilograms of 60% enriched uranium, it will absolutely be hit again. So the question is, how are they going to try to build without making it look like they're going to be building? They're going to be trying to avoid and delay for the second round as much as possible and for as long as possible.
Mr. Behnam Ben Taleblu, Senior Fellow at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies, to be continued. Thank you very much for your time tonight.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Now